Our self-esteem, or self-value, depends on the value of the features associated to ourself. If we are rich, tall, and healthy and think that these features are positive, our self-esteem will be high. If we are poor, sick, and unemployed, and think that these features are negative, our self-esteem will be low. It is often believed that the features' values are absolute and immutable. But history shows that this is not the case. Having a fair complexion was once considered positive because it was associated to a higher social status. Today, being tanned is positive. This proves that features' values are relative and plastic. Values can be changed by association. If we associate a negative feature with a positive feature, the value of the first feature will increase. Marketing uses this principle with influencers, whose presence increases a product's reputation. We want to apply this method to our negative features, which cause our low self-esteem. This series of videos highlights some common negative features, proposing for each of them a list of people who share the feature. Knowing that we are not alone may help to render them less negative and more tolerable. Enjoy!
Quintus Fabius Maximus, surnamed Cunctator, 280 to 203 BC, was a Roman statesman and general of the 3rd century BC. He was consul 5 times and was appointed dictator in 221 and 217 BC. He was censor in 230 BC. His agnomen, Cunctator, usually translated as the procrastinator, refers to the strategy that he employed against Hannibal's forces during the Second Punic War. Facing an outstanding commander with superior numbers, he pursued the then novel strategy of targeting the enemy's supply lines and accepting only smaller engagements on favorable ground, rather than risking his entire army on direct confrontation with Hannibal himself. As a result, he is regarded as the inventor of guerrilla warfare. Arthur Neville Chamberlain, 1869–1940, was a British conservative statesman. Several times Minister of the Post Office of Health, he was also Chancellor of the Exchequer, and in 1937 he finally succeeded Stanley Baldwin at the head of the party in government of the United Kingdom, remaining in charge until May 1940. Chamberlain is best known for his foreign policy of appeasement, and in particular for his signing of the Munich Agreement in 1938, which conceded the German-speaking Sudetenland region of Czechoslovakia to Germany. He tried to avoid confrontation with Hitler as far as he could, making concessions until war was inevitable. Grace Belden Wilbur Trout, 1864–1955, was an American suffragist who was president of 2 prominent Illinois suffrage organizations. She was instrumental in getting the Illinois legislature to pass the Illinois Law, a law giving women partial suffrage by allowing them to vote in local and national elections. In 1912, Trout was elected president unanimously of the Illinois Statewide Equal Suffrage Association. She avoided confrontation and instead conducted a quiet, educational campaign aimed at building support for suffrage. Her nonpartisan, conciliatory lobbying efforts were successful in achieving significant advances for women's rights. The Vietnam War, also known as the Second Indochina War, was a conflict that took place in Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia from 1955 to the fall of Saigon in 1975. It was fought between the U.S. military and the Viet Cong Army, supported by Russia and China. It cost the lives of some 60,000 American soldiers and over 1 million Vietnamese soldiers and civilians. The Viet Cong Army, having a lower firepower than the American Army, avoided an open battle with the enemy, opting for guerrilla warfare. Thanks to this tactic, made possible also by the logistical advantage deriving from the knowledge of the territory, the Viet Cong eventually managed to prevail. The war finally ended in 1975 with conquest of Saigon by the North Vietnamese Army, shortly after the evacuation of U.S. civilians still present in the capital.